Hello guys and welcome to Everdream. In this particular video today, we're going to be looking at episode 123 season 2 of Ben 10 Alien Force. As usual, if you like what you see here, please subscribe and like the video. Also, don't forget to share the video with anyone you feel would love to see it. Your boy really appreciates it, and it really helps me reach new people and get even more subscribers, which I need if I'm going to continue making these kinds of videos. So if you've browsed my channel and you like the stuff I have on there, you all need to make sure to share with your friends, introduce them to my content and subscribe yourself so I can expand my channel for you guys. Thanks a lot, and with that said and done, let's get to the video. Okay, the first noteworthy event in this episode takes place during our introduction to Magister Prior Galil, who makes his first appearance in the original classic franchise. During this introduction, we first hear mention of Kevin's biological father, who while not even mentioned by name, is implied to have been a plumber. It won't be until much later in season 3 of Alien Force that we get the full story regarding Kevin's dad and his surprising connection to Max Tennyson. We then move to a conversation during which Ben says, "Badges? We don't need no stinking badges," which you may or may not be aware is a fairly famous quote that has been referenced in many works of fiction, with most people believing it originated in the movie Blazing Saddles, but in fact was first heard as is in the American comedy series The Monkees, episode 33. During the midpoint of this episode is when we are finally introduced to the character Darkstar. The character sports a look very reminiscent of both the Marvel characters Iron Man and Doctor Doom. A few scenes later, and the mysterious Darkstar is revealed to be none other than Michael Morningstar, who, after suffering his last defeat in the previous season, was left horribly disfigured and hence felt the need to conceal his face behind a mask, which is totally a Doctor Doom move. Looks like somebody on the writing team is a big Fantastic Four fan. This episode has Ben and an alien hybrid stuck together on a desolate hostile world where they are forced to put aside their differences in order to survive the harsh conditions of said world. Now, the setup to this episode's story isn't exactly new, but this particular take on the trope is based on the 1985 movie Enemy Mine, which is a film that portrays two enemy pilots, one a human and another a reptilian-like alien, learning to trust and work together in order to survive the conditions of the world they crash landed on. Speaking of worlds people crash on, the one Ben and the hybrid get stuck on is a desert world with two suns, and I'd be really disappointed if you are surprised to know it's actually heavily reminiscent of the planet Tatooine from Star Wars. The same planet, where we first get introduced to one of the most famous characters in modern fiction, Luke Skywalker. Moving on, a bit later in this episode we have Ben trying to find some common ground with the hybrid, which leads him to formally introduce himself as Ben Tennyson. The hybrid then mistakenly takes to addressing Ben as Ben Tennyson, thinking it's his proper name. This little misunderstanding is taken straight out of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy franchise, where the protagonist also introduces himself to an alien as Dent, Arthur Dent, which of course leads to the misunderstanding that his proper name is Dent Arthur Dent and not just Arthur Dent. And while we're still on the topic of names, here's a fun fact for you. The hybrid Ben befriends on the desert world is named Reinrassig III, and fans of the classic series know him as Reini. But if you didn't grow up in Germany, then you may not know that Reinrassig is German for purebred, a name which fits someone with his rather extreme ideology.
Hybrids were the very first race in the universe. All species hence, other than pure-blooded hybrids, are nothing but mongrels, hideous abominations of nature, especially humans.
Right out of the gate in the episode, we have the name of the episode giving us a little wink. The episode's title, Good Copy, Bad Copy, is clearly an allusion to the famous interrogation routine called Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'm sure most people are at least familiar with it. But focusing on the actual episode itself, it marks the first ever appearance of fan favorite and recurring villain, Albedo, who is basically Ben's intellectually superior, genetically identical and yet somehow better looking evil twin. It is also personally one of my favorite episodes of the franchise because of that badass Omnitrix vs Omnitrix fight we get near the end. But despite this being the first appearance of Albedo in the franchise, it is not the first time Ben has met the Galvan chronologically. In the classic Ben 10 timeline, Ben first met the Galvan when he was 11 years old and he went to Galvan Prime to have the Omnitrix repaired after a malfunction, as revealed in the Ben 10 Omniverse episode Trouble Helix. But the reason Ben doesn't know who Albedo is in this episode is simply because Ben doesn't remember him. He paid little attention to the rebellious Galvan when he was on Galvan Prime, even though he's the one that actually saved Albedo in that same episode, but he never even bothered to learn his name. And speaking of his name, here's another fun fact for you. The word albedo actually has some meaning to it, as the word refers to the proportion of light reflected by the surface of a planet or moon. This is fitting because albedo is kind of, well, he's literally a reflection of Ben, his doppelganger, his shadow self. Alright, moving on. Every true fan of the classic series knows about Albedo and his obsession with chili fries. But did you know the fault isn't actually in Ben's DNA? The Galvan loves to blame Ben for his problem with the fast food. But according to the writers, Albedo's addiction to chili fries is his own problem and has nothing to do with Ben. He should really get some help. Just saying. Now we've talked a lot about Albedo, which is fitting since this is his debut episode. But he isn't the only major player who made first appearances this season. Azmath, you know him, builder of the Omnitrix and self-proclaimed smartest being in the universe, also made his first debut in this episode. Before this, his only canonical appearance was in the movie Ben 10 Secret of the Omnitrix. This episode marks his first ever appearance in the Ben 10 franchise outside of the movies. Now let's focus a little on our main character in this episode. Throughout season 1 of Alien Force and until now, whenever Ben speaks as the alien Echo Echo, there was always this robotic filter that was added to his voice to make it sound more, well, robotic. But that process has been removed from this episode onwards. Ben's left eye is also revealed to twitch every time he lies in this episode. I hope you paid special attention to this very important detail because you will never see it or hear it mentioned in the entire franchise ever again. And finally, towards the end of the episode, we have a bit of a cliffhanger in which Azmath reveals he thinks Ben is worthy of the Omnitrix and that there is someone else who agrees with this. And who that person might be is left a complete mystery until the very last episode of Alien Force in season 3, where Azmath reveals he was talking about good old Grandpa Max all along. And with that, this video is brought to an end. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I had making it. I tried my very best to find as many Easter eggs or references as I could find, but if I missed any, please tell me in the comments below. I would also like to know what you guys thought of these videos in the comment section below. Your feedback means a lot to me. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like rating on this video. I know you guys love this content since it's done really well. So if you want me to keep making these videos, I need you guys to subscribe and share, as that's what supports me and helps my channel grow. If you could share my videos with friends or people that you feel would be interested in this kind of thing, that would be awesome. The next video will be released much faster, as I've gotten a bit of a rhythm with this YouTube thing. Till then, click the notification bell to get notified for future videos. In addition to Ben 10, I also do Marvel content as well as AMVs, and soon I will be hitting the anime scene. I intend to start with Fates and maybe move on to other anime like Dragon Ball, so there will be no shortage of content on my channel. Have a look and you might like what you see. With all that said, thank you guys for your support so far, it really means a lot to me and I can't wait to see you guys later.